Hello and welcome to another fun-filled edition of Adam's Music Box. And I know what you're thinking. Does the world need another Miles Davis video? Probably not, but because he is so iconic, because he is such a titan in the world of music, I think we've got to talk a bit about him. Now, Miles was someone that was constantly innovating, and that's what made him special. It wasn't particular virtuosity, and I don't even think it was composition per se. It was innovation and spontaneity. Two things that, for a true artist, and for Miles perhaps in particular, always went together. He was there inventing bebop when bebop was being invented. He was there inventing a fusion of jazz and modern orchestral music, neoclassical even, when that wasn't really a thing. He was there inventing or co-inventing modal jazz, along with probably people like Bill Evans, when before that was a thing. And perhaps most importantly, he was someone who didn't necessarily invent jazz fusion. I think that was his good friend Tony Williams, but he was certainly someone who paved the way for jazz fusion to become the dominant art form in jazz and a subgenre of rock, the biggest genre in the world at the time, in that era. And it was when Miles plugged in, as they say, in the late 60s and 70s, that I think his career really reached an apex. Because was Miles without any pretense. This was Miles when nobody was even trying to tell him what to do. This was Miles pissing off the purists even more than before. And in music and in art, and frankly in life, when purists get pissed off, it means something is being invented. The horse purists got pissed off when the car was invented. The plane must have pissed people off. I think some people are still pissed off about that. Great electricity pissed off the gas people and the candlestick maker, and the butcher and baker are probably very pissed off by Bill Gates and his artificial meat. We don't hear about that much anymore. Anyway, innovation pisses people off because people like to cling to the shibboleths of a past era rather than do something new. And a lot of people reacted to Miles and his stuff in the late 60s and 70s for that reason. And a lot of this stuff now, it's been circulating in live form a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong, the studio albums are great, but some of the visual performances that are live are absolutely extraordinary. And more of them are now findable on the YouTubes and the rest of them because you can see just how symbiotic the musicians were, how Miles let people do their thing, but at the same time acted like a maestro. His trumpet wasn't really a lead instrument by that point. It was the conductor's baton, as they say. It was him leading the orchestra, leading these musicians, not literally an orchestra in that sense, but you know what I mean. And he played with some of the best musicians ever, launched so many careers in both jazz fusion, avant-garde jazz, all sorts of new jazz idioms coming out in the 70s. He remained innovative in the 80s, incorporating the electro-funk and modern R&B sounds of the era into his music, and was even doing hip-hop jazz fusion right up until the day he sadly died. A great innovator. All of his eras were great, but to me, it was the late 60s, early 70s when it really was a point of no return in terms of amazing musical innovation that just really knocks you off your seat. As always, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.